So, good evening guys, welcome to what is another Monday night OTL session. It is Season 3, we're on round 13 and tonight we head to the Netherlands. Let's get a quick rundown of, I think, the points before we get going this evening. We'll give everybody in the stream a little heads up of exactly who sits where and what is going on. So let me just get that up. Standings. Bear with me 1 second, chat. Jensen will join us as always in a little bit in the session. He is off doing his PSGL race at the moment. So the standings as it stands, Mike still way out in the lead with that 53 point gap on 230 points to Jay in P2 on 177. Jay getting promoted to the win, with Jamie picking up a 10-second time penalty for that incident with Mikey last weekend in the closing stages at Spa. Jay starts to get a bit of a grip on that P2 position. He now takes a 34 point lead into that, so even if Jay wasn't to score and Rage was to win a race, he still has a good few points of an advantage. Then we have Dixie and Skarma, both tied, P4 and 5, and both on 121 points. The leaderboard is very congested in this mid-pack, because we have Jamie then in P6 on 115, then a Matoman only 4 points behind in 7th on 111, then Mikey only 2 points behind Matt in P8 on 109. F. Lewis 6 behind then in P9 on 103, then Rob only 2 behind F. Lewis in 101. Then we have Connor P11 93, Merco 12 on 91, Pedro 13 on 66, Nelly 14th on 58. Of course, Nelly only taking part in 5 races so far this season. Mitch in 15th on 58 points. He's had probably one of his strongest seasons thus far in terms of points. Chris Stapson P16 on 42, Fingers P17 on 38, Ranger P18 on 34, Senna P19 on 34, and Mick P20 on 23. Of course, we will have SPW rejoining again, so he will come back into that frame. Regards to constructors, Alfa Romeo got a 103 point advantage at the moment, and first against Ferrari on 249. They're Alfa Romeo on 352. Then McLaren and Ferrari 6 points between them for second. 249 against 243. Then Red Bull only 11 points behind McLaren on 232. Then Williams only 4 points behind Red Bull on 228. Alpine on 177, Haas on 164, Alpha Tauri 164, Aston Martin 155, and Mercedes, believe it or not, in P10 on 111 points. So let's get the stream up, let's see what people are saying, let's get some deltas on the screen, let's get our full track map, let's get some telemetry, and let's see what tyres people are going to run. Right, where is the stream? Where has it gone, chat? Let's find it. We are here. Let's finish this race today. Yes, F. Lewis, I am sure you will, sir. I'm sure you will. So, some guys get out on their outlaps very early. A couple of soft runners out so far. Nelly out. Jock in an outlap, Fingers in an outlap. We have SPW out, Merkel out, Mitch out as well. Not out the session, out on an outlap to get themselves wound up for a lap. So who is going to be our first driver? I think it is a Red Bull man. I think it could be Merkel, one of the first to open a lap. Yes, it is, so we'll go on board for a lap as Zandvoort smash the brakes for turn 1. About 60 metres. Don't want to go too much later than that. Not too much in apex. Squeeze the throttle in fourth gear, then it's a small stab of the brakes, flick down a gear, chuck the car in, then use the banking as much as you dare. You almost double apex. press the pedal down, launch yourself up over the crest of the hill, then you head through probably the fastest part of the circuit, then down into the tricky right. It's essentially the right, then a little kink left into the double right-hander. You want to be very careful on this outside curb. You use too much, it's going to drag you very, very wide. Now, these are corners where the rear is just asking for grip, and there never seems to be enough, especially in race conditions. Misses his apex a little bit there. Not too bad though, gets the throttle on mild, DRS open on what is quite a pointless DRS spot. Take a chunk of the curb on the inside for the third to last corner, nice and easy round. Sorry, that's the third to last corner because this is second to last and into the big bang finale. Don't touch the curb on the inside, don't spin the curb, careful on the exit on the outside curb, that will also wreck your lap. And then Mirko draws to the side to bring home what's going to be a 1:11.2 for the first lap of the session, and we have a Ferrari not too far behind. I think it could be Mitch. Mitch is going to be our second man to get a lap on the board. And he is going to come home in a 1:18.1, so I think Mitch may be on a race run. Then we have a Mercedes. It's not SPW, it was Jock and his mediums doing a 1:13.6, then finger slots in a 1:12.2. SPW though on his medium gets into P2 in a 1:11.6. I think he'll be reasonably happy. Merkel was one of the guys that showed some strong pace early on, and he's quite a bit quicker than Nelly thus far. So I think he should be reasonably happy with that lap time at the moment on the medium. Skarma brings home an 11.4 and gets himself into P2, but where is our championship leader? I think he's had a moment. He has some very dirty tyres, and I think he's got out his lap at the moment. So let's see where Mike is. He's our next man to bank a lap. He just comes through the fast right-handers, setting up some purple sectors, as it would be because it is only his first run of the session so far. And my lighter is not working. So he's got a bit of traffic ahead in a McLaren. Hopefully they get well out of the way in this little bit of section of track, or they might just get up the road to go open the lap. I'm unsure, but Nelly does do bits and gets himself nicely out of the way. So Mikey chucks into the last corner. Could probably have been a bit tighter to the curb, but for your first run of the session I think it's acceptable just to find your way into the session, and Mikey's going to bank a reasonably good time here. It's an 11.7 on his soft compound. Rob Will's done an 11.0, I've never even seen that one coming in. We have, that is Skarma coming around the last corner. Let's see the other McLaren, Aston Martin, I think that's Rob on his in-lap, so I don't think we have anything else out at the moment. Matt Oman on an out-lap on his medium compound tyre, so we'll stay on board we'll stay with Matt for a little while, and we will see how he gets on. So Matoman through the last corner, nice and easy flat, especially with the banking. See, he goes into his first flying lap of the session. Looking nice and steady, sector 1. How much use? Maybe a bit slower. He could have used more of the track there. Things a bit hesitant into the banking, but maybe just being cautious on the tyre. Me personally, Nelly slots in a 10.8 on the medium compound tyre, and all of a sudden that looks very, very strong indeed. I think the lap times are going to come to the session. I don't think guys are going to be sitting constantly up in the 11s. I think we'll see most guys get down into the 10s at some point. Why is my chat not working? Evening to Mr. Adam and Mr. Skarma. Good evening. Now everything seems to be working again. I closed the app and reopened it. Sorry about that, gents. So Matoman through the last corner he comes. Where can he slot himself? Him and his medium compound tyre. Can he get himself up somewhere in the top 6, close to Mikey? He goes ahead of Mikey, 11.6 for Matoman, just ahead of SPW by not a lot of time at all. I think we just had Jock open up his second run of the session. Yes, we have. Mike now out on his medium again. He's going to try and bank a lamp on that medium compound tyre. Then he probably could squeeze 2 soft run in still, but it'll probably just be 1-1 now for Michael. Jock a couple of tenths up in the middle sector, needs to find some more time though. I think he did have a moment in his last lap, so as long as he doesn't have that moment, I think he's got a second somewhere in this last sector when it comes up. He just needs to keep it nice and easy. It's looking nice and tidy, just letting the car do the work. Gentle on the throttle. Mike does his absolute best to stay well out the way on the inside. Good man. And he is now 1.1 seconds up, so we knew he had the time somewhere to find. Can he find some more through the last few corners? Don't use too much of that grass on the outside, that's going to really compromise your exit the corner because you really lean on the left hand side of the car there, so you do not want to be touching the grass on the outside as you go into the corner, but it's going to be a low 12 here. He gains 1.5, 12.1 for Jock. No improvement in position, but does get much closer to the grid. So let's go on board with our championship leader as SPW goes P1 and a 10.7 on his soft compound tyre. Mike touches the curb on the inside and that just unsettled the car a little bit, but he's done really well there and he's just going to get out of the lap there. I think he's maybe just going to run off to the soft as Rage comes in off his soft run, so I'm unsure exactly what's going on there. Let's see if we have anybody on a fast lap. Jock just going round. We have Mikey. Mikey is on one on his medium compound tyre, so Mikey looking to improve. Let's see a split as he barrels in through the middle of this middle sector. Can he find some time through these couple of corners up to the split? I don't know if Mike maybe took a little bit away from Mikey there in the corner. Oh, Jensen, I feel like Jensen's joined me early. That is not a good sign.
It is a good sign.
All good?
Don't worry, P5.
Ah, good.
On the back.
Oh, nice. Good man. You just need to turn your headset up just a little bit if possible, young man. Mikey slots in now into P4 and 11 flat now, and it's starting to look very congested at the front end of the grid. Perfect, mate, thank you very much. Ecos Mike is the same Mike, it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. He has joined Ecos, getting in for the teams thing. I'll join you shortly for this in the session.
What's that? Do you need an invite?
No, I've got the invite, it's just, yeah, leaving that session.
Oh, right, I see. So where are we? Oh, Surge is on track. We are 7.5 minutes into the session. Everybody just kinda either just done or just on their second runs. SPW leading the way in a 10.7 who joins us back full time, of course. But Nelly's running a 10.8 was on the medium compound tyre. Stay with Surge, 49.8 sector 2. Oh, and he's had a big moment there in the rear of the car.
That's PW, there's no pole position.
No.
And Ecos Mikey goes.
Oh, and Surge has just dropped the car out the last corner. That was really strange. He's trying to come out the last corner and the rear of the car is just absolutely let go.
Yeah, it's a scary place to be at the moment. Luckily the pit lane was right there. Oh god, the McLaren coming to the pit. Bit of a scary time, but anyways.
So I'm intrigued to see where Rage goes. Performed better last week. Has he got the confidence to start running a bit of momentum? He's went very wide there. That's going to cost him a bit of time at the start of sector 2, and he has a bit of traffic ahead as well, so that's not really going to help the lap. But Rob Wells is, I think he's going to just get through the corner here. Or he gets well out the way in the outside line. That was probably the right thing to do. So what, this is Sector 2 split 49.3, so I think Rage is a little down in kind of the lap time Mike was doing, but I think he's going to be on the low side of the 11s. I could be absolutely wrong though.
I don't know about that at the moment on the mediums. He's looking alright so far, 50.7 middle sector split.
Mr. Rage to the line. It's an 11.1 for Rage. He slots into P6.
Atlas P12. Probably, I don't think he can use any energy on that.
Dixie round the last corner as well on his major compound tyre. It's going to be a low 12 for Adam, I think here. No, it's a higher side of the 12, 12.7. He may go for another run here.
The medium's competitive around here then. Nelly is only a couple of hundredths away from Mike, which is quite a performance on those mediums so far, but SPW is currently holding the pole position. See how that changes. Nelly out on the mediums again, so he's thinking probably getting more out of those tyres.
So is Dixie going to find any time he's going to come into a lot of traffic here? I think he is still pushing on, trying to find more time in the lap here. Let's have a nosy when he gets down to the Sector 2 split, but he's about to hit a big train of cars, so hopefully everybody does their best to get out of the way here. There's a Ferrari just sitting there. Oh no, oh, and that was caught on stream. That will probably be a penalty for Rage there. And Adams came out the lap. Oh, I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if that was just a bit of banter there, but we cannot penalise drivers for doing things on track and then just because a couple of guys think it's kind of fun, do it, because if it's caught on stream like that, it sets a bad example. I don't mean the Mr. Killjoy. I'm sorry. Are you good, Jensen?
Yes, yes.
Good man.
A lot of stuff, or a lot of big results coming in. So.
I see. So Pedro on a lap. Where is the man that showed some really good form of late? So an 11.6 for Pedro. He goes on to P10 at the moment on his soft compound tyre. So I think this could be everybody trickling out for the last run. I don't really know what was going on there.
So Mike out on the softs, so he probably wanted to steal the pole position away from SPW. SPW out on the softs again as well.
I'm not really sure what's going on here between the Alpha boys.
Oh, there's been a spin out of the final corner for Green Fingers. Oh, it's a tricky one to get the car turned around, but he has. Does he have time for one more run? I don't know if that changed for him. I think that's his qualifying over. Jock 2 temps up on his left.
So the two Alpha boys checking up here. They need to be careful. They get something not far away. And Ethan starting his lap this close to Mike is not going to help him at all.
Big snap on the exit for us, but he held it very nicely though. He's 2 temps down though. Is he gonna? He could back off and go for another run if he wanted to, but Looks like he's committing. Might now come up the hill. F. Lewis sticking right behind him for the
It
lap.
was a very strange outlap between the two drivers, so it was.
It's
Oh, and it's just started raining.
And it's heavy rain already coming down. Mike, he needs to get this lap in. And the soft tyres fall off really at Zandvoort.
And I think Mike may have timed this to absolute perfection.
Yep, SPW goes quicker by 2 thousandths. But Mike, he's 2 tenths off only. He needs to not lose 1.5 tenths on his
Oh,
lap.
and it's a big snap, Jensen.
Oh, and he's coasting around the corner a little bit there. Is Mike gonna get pole position off SPW? This is gonna be a close one.
Oh, and he comes out it. So he
And
wants to start in the medium compound
yeah.
tyre.
Mikey though, Mikey's on pole.
Oh, he's done it. Is there anybody else on a lap? Mr. Rage. Oh, he's way down. Matoman a 10th up. We'd need to find a lot of time. Somebody improved.
Here comes Adam. Adam's gonna cross the line. Oh, he only improves to P14. F. Lewis is done for qualifying. Matoman's the only one left, Chris. Who
He's 3
can
tenths up.
beat him? He's
Need to
3
find a
tenths down
lot
on
of
Mikey,
time in the
though.
last
I think it's
sector.
over. I think he could possibly get himself maybe P8, P9. There he goes. I don't think he's going to take pole from Mikey. Looking at the sector times, and here we go. P7 for Mataman, who really got the best out of that one in slightly rainy conditions. But Mikey.
So a bit of retribution there for the win that was maybe taken away from him last week. Mikey gets the car on pole, and at a track like Zandvoort, it is where you want to be. But SPW on his comeback, putting the car on the front row of the grid. 2 absolutely spectacular stories in that front row. And look how close it is between the top 8. 3 tenths, it's not even, it's 2.5 tenths of a second. Very, very close. Well done, Mikey. Well done, SPW. That makes a very interesting front row of the grid for the duration of the race, or the start of the race anyway. Gives the big hitters, the guys like Mike and Nelly, Rage, something to think about as they come through. We like dynamics, but there it is. Mikey takes pole. SPW P2, Mike P3, Nelly 4, Mr. Rage P5, Merco 6, Matoman 7, Rob Wills P8, Skarma P9, Surge 10, Pedro 11, Jock 12, Fingers 13, Dixie 14, F Lewis 15, and Mitch P16. But look at the gaps there between the top 7.
That's
6
insane.
tenths. Top 7 split by 1.5 and then the top 10, 6 tenths. I think we're set for an absolute, well, Monday night's always a very good race, but I think we're set for something pretty spectacular here this evening. And is that Mikey's first pole? I think it just might be.
It's his first pole in OTL. It's his first pole we know of, I think, for...
Good man, Mikey.
I need to know my stats. How
90 minutes of racing pre-race and it just blows your head, right? Pre-coms.
It looks kind of clear. I think this is Mikey's first pole since Hungary in HR season. Maybe. I don't know. But I know it was back in spring, so first pole in quite a while. But anyways, I think.
So it's not looking beautifully clear. It's looking very hazy. Well, that clears up or goes the other way, it's very unknown at the moment, and we don't want to know, chat, so don't say a thing. But it's certainly, the sky's looking in a manner that the weather could go one or two ways, or both ways, sorry. So it'll be interesting to see just exactly what lies ahead for what is, I think, Yes, 36 laps it is. So Mikey leads the grid away for the first time and he has just scampered off. SPW on that front row, second row of the grid will be Ecos, Mike and Nelly. Row 3 on the grid will be Mr. Ranger Merkel, row 4 Matoman and Rob Wills, row 5 Skarma and Surge, row 6 Pedro and Jock, row 7 Greenfingers and Dixie, and on row 8 F. Lewis and Mitch. I wonder what happened to F. Lewis. I think he maybe retired the car on the fast right hander. Sitting behind Mike, that was always something that I said would maybe let him down a little bit. You don't need dirty air in your qualifying runs, especially at a track like this. Downforce is everything. You need as much air going over the wings as you possibly dare to try and bank a really strong lap. And while you're a second or a second and a half behind the other car, you're just not going to get it. So predictions, Jensen.
Yeah.
What do you feel lies ahead for us here?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a tyre. Let's go something spicy. Mikey for P1 because I know he wants to make up for last week because I felt he deserved that.
I would agree.
Stripped away there. P2, Mike on the mediums. I'd say Mike maybe for P2 because he might fall a bit later on the stint. And there's been a big coming together at the end of the formation lap. I was going to say Pedro P3 because Pedro going for recent form.
I like it. So I'll go for, I think Mikey will be up there as well. I think SPW will bring home a podium in his first race back. But I'm going to say Merco gets a podium here.
I think it's your lights up, Chris. So.
Is it mine? I will stay on board with our pole sitter and Mikey. The guys are all sitting still, but we have no lights. I think they're about to come any moment now. And we will have in just a second some lights. Let's actually get some to that. So we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out, away we go for the Zandvoort GP, and it's a very, very strong start from Mikey there. He's scampered away for the grid, and SPW bogged down a little bit. Nelly's going to go along the inside line. SPW absolutely sends it. They absolutely knew Mike, being very aware there of what was going to come from SPW in that soft compound tyre, and just left the door open a little bit to let them get through. So it seems to be getting through nice and easy. Medium guy struggling a little bit. Looks like Matoman's managed to get himself up a few positions at the start of the race. He has gained 1, Pedro up a couple, F. Lewis got up 4 as well, and Rob Lewis, Rob Wills.
More.
And Skarma's round.
He's had a... Luckily it's only a spin, so be able to carry on. But it's not what you want in the first lap. But Mikey, that was a perfect start, I think, Chris.
Yes, done everything he had to do, and for the first time in the race, apart from F. Lewis, I think guys will get through, and it's exactly how you need to start Zandvoort. Just get through this opening lap, get filtered into the line, and just see where it goes. So I think we're set for everybody just to kind of settle down into the rhythm now, and we'll start to see if people want to push on when DRS comes.
Remember that Mikey took pole on a dampening track, so there might be a little bit more pace in him, but SPW's really pushing this first lap. He's weaving a little bit there. Going into turn 1, and he's not going to get past there. And Mitch is out. And that's
that's a VSC. We're going to go full, so I think that will be a full safety car. It is VSC at the moment. Will it change though? Who knows? I think it is a bit better. I don't think they pull the safety car kind of every time now. So this looks like it's just going to stay VSC.
I think he fell victim of the banking there.
Skarma getting a little cheeky chance to get onto the medium tyre. That's a very good call there for Skarma, although he's way back. Getting the cheap pit stop now could pay dividends a little later.
I wonder if any of these guys will pit. I know it's lap 2, but I think you could do the mediums the whole race distance around Zandvoort.
Yes, that is very true. So where is Pedro? Pedro's gained 3, he's up to P8, so looking good for Pedro. Mr. Rage lost a couple. Merco and Mattelman, Surge, Jock and Dixie all gained 1. Pedro is the 3 I said, F. Lewis up 5. But Skarma, the biggest loser, having that moment at the start, whether it was a moment or contact, but we're back to green, and we're going racing again, so I'll stop talking about that and we'll see how Mikey's controlled the jump, and I think he's not too bad, everything seems even, but DRS being enabled, and F. Lewis is retired from the session. There's been a crash between F. Lewis and Pedro.
Yep. Oh, that's a big one there,
and how Pedro has managed to not get damaged there, I don't know. So I think maybe F. Lewis has dropped the car there, and I'm not actually quite sure what's happened there. That is very interesting. So critically, Jensen, looking at the gaps, Mikey has broke DRS.
Yeah.
Oh, no, no, Mikey, no! He spun the car!
Oh, no.
I cussed him. I feel crap.
Oh,
turn your ERS off, don't boost on the restart, Mikey. You've got your overtake on, turn it off, sir.
Oh, don't tell me he's got a broken ERS or something. Nah, he's turned it off. No, that's a shame there for Mikey. He was starting to control that. And
it was.
Yeah.
I feel like just as I spoke about the advantage breaking the DRS, the car goes round. I feel very guilty there. But Mike now looking very much in control. Nelly right on him in the medium compound as well, Jensen, so all to play for there. Oh, nearly goes into the back of Mike. But look at Mirko and his softs all over the back. Struggling a little bit in the ERS, so you could probably say, looking at the ERSs at the moment, Mirko's pushing just a little harder than the front three just to stay on the pack. Did you drop out of the last corner? Did it just let go, Ethan? It seemed like that. I don't understand why that happens when you're in the train.
Dirt, yeah, it just strips the downforce, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is really brutal. Lost it, got a little damage and it retired. Also, I think, see when you've lost it, mate, Pedro hit you, the game's not ghosted you quick enough and Pedro's hit your spun car. And I think it's been Pedro hitting the car when it was spun retired, and there's somebody in the wall there. Who is that? It's Jock.
Mercedes of Jock, yeah, he's lost his front wing.
Yellow flag sector 2, but it is cleared, so they are continuing on. As Mr. Rage here is, look at this, Nelly, Mike, SPW, they're all three wide at the start of turn 1. Oh my, that's unlucky, bro. Oh, Nelly's round! Nelly's dropped the car out the bank turn, and somehow Matoman's went through as well. I think Merkel had to avoid it. Matoman sees the opportunity, seizes it at the moment, and gets himself up to
Mike's
P4.
In the lead now. Well, you might have picked up already, but Mike is in the lead. So Mike, the race is starting to play into his hands now. He's on the alternate strategy, and the more this race goes on, the more those mediums will come to him.
Jock gets a 5-second time penalty for spinning in the pit lane, so that's not going to do any favours when it comes to the end of the race, unless he can have another pit stop and clear that at some point, maybe when the safety car is out. Oh, Rage, don't touch the inside cut there on, he's out! He's dropped the car as well. Everybody is struggling like mad. Rage is round. He's going to have to box.
He's done a Russell.
Oh my god. See you in Russia, Ethan, take care, bro. Oh my god, it's all kicking off.
There's more pit stop. I feel like it's someone's a good Dutch Grand Prix, and I think SPW and Mike have got a bit of a gap. And SPW ain't letting Mike get away so easy. And I think
and Mike's pushing on. Look at the energy difference between the two, Jensen. Mike down below 30%, SPW above 60%.
I think Mike was pushing there to get that move done. Must have been.
Just not recovered just yet. I guess you're right.
But I think on outright pace, on those tyres at the moment, it's starting to come to Mike.
The surge at the moment there, I think he has. He's got Jock coming through and he's outside line, but that's a blue flagged car.
Oh, I thought I was Adam there, but yeah.
Look at Dixie now in his medium compound. Kept himself out of bother, and he's up to P7.
And Oh, the white Red Bull is not giving him any luck today.
Yes, that's a good point. It's the guy's first time league racing in the White Bulls.
Yeah, Zandvoort as well, it's supposed to be.
The irony on Serge picks up a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane now for good measure. I don't know if the hard tyres are it. A lot of guys really struggling on the hards.
Yeah, they're going early stops hards. Undercut maybe on the softs if they think they're going to go that bad, or maybe. Because I'm pretty sure the mediums would be the right one, and Green Fingers had a spin out of turn 10, I think.
OTL Dixie absolutely settled in the moment, just watching him going round there for a corner or two. He's not pushing too hard, but
liking his ult strats as well, isn't he?
yes, he's been doing very well on them recently. I gave him a little pep talk and I told him he'd spent too much time getting front wings taken off in the first lap, and I said just take a bit off, keep yourself out of trouble in that first lap and races will come to you, because he knows he's not the fastest guy, but he can churn the laps out lap after lap, and that gets you results.
Yeah, and he's fourth in the standings as well, so it's been quite a season for him.
Merco now having a look at Matoman. Both these guys absolutely spent in energy, not quite through that time around though.
Yeah, they're going right at it here. The two leaders battling it out. Got Matoman and Merco battling it out, and everyone else is kind of separated from each other, looks like.
Yeah, they couple of laps of incidents dispersed the pack very quickly.
Oh, there's been a...
I think that might be Fingers.
Yeah, and he's gone deep. It's the gravel. He's going to be careful of the leaders as they go through. Oh, God. Doing his best to keep out of the way. It's a tricky circuit to move. Oh,
fair play to him there, has been ghosted as well. He could have just maintained, but he has done his best there to get out of the way. So
it's
commend their Fingers there. Yeah,
for getting out of the way, because everyone's changing each side of the track every time.
Yep.
You'll go on the left and the right in a couple of seconds.
So this seems to be a battle for the win, and then a battle for this last step on the podium is Merco. Oh my God, I just looked back in Matoman and he had the biggest wobble I've ever seen out the last corner there. That was disgusting, and somehow he kept the car in a straight line.
I don't think Mike is as comfortable as he wants to be at the moment. SPW's gained more energy and Mike has lost more, and at the moment SPW, when he pits, he'll be on, I think pretty sure he'll be on a brand new set of mediums. He will get the undercut on Mike, and when Mike is on the soft he has to do the overtaking all over again when it's for the final stint. I'm pretty sure SPW is not going to let it go so easily. So, and
I don't know what's going on here on Skarma's getting in the pits. So I was going to say Pedro was catching Skarma at a serious pace on that hard compound tyre. Just wasn't quite sure what was going on. Pedro's managed to somehow get himself back above the starting position even with that big spin. So fair play Pedro, he's pumping the time. I know a full VSC, I thought it was going to be a full course safety car. It is not at the moment.
At the moment, I think out of turn 6.
And he's not, he can't get going.
He's not driving out at all. Has something happened? Oh, he's got going.
Oh, there we go. And absolutely wingless, and it is a full course safety car, Jensen. It has changed. So look, the leaders are all in. So here goes the burst, and Dixie is going to go into the lead of the race here. He is on his medium compound tyre. He's going for it.
Tyres. I don't think that's the right call, really, in my opinion. SPW on the hard tyres as well. SPW's hit the wall out of the turn 3.
Has he picked up damage?
He's
got end plate damage.
That's the race pretty much gone there. I think Rob Wills is in the best possible position for the race win here. Not lying here. He's on the mediums. I think he's chosen the right way. By the end of the race he should have about only 50%.
OTL Dixie leads the race.
Yeah, Nelly's back in P3 as well, so he's recovered by this safety car. And I think the guys that
I
Mikey.
think Dixie's made a very good call here as well. I think from where he was to get track position.
Was it Mikey, Pedro, Serge and Skarma? I think they're going to be happy for this safety car as it's going to bring them all back into the race.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's probably what they were waiting around for, but yeah, Jock and Greenfingers, unfortunately for them, they're in safety car training, a lap behind.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's SPW into the pits. He's got to go for the mediums now. He can't go anything else.
And the good thing is he's only going to drop
he's been
positions.
Put on the right strategy though. He's been put on the right strategy, which I feel we'll probably be happy with.
Yeah, I would agree. Don't know if the hard tyre is it 25.
He probably doesn't know though about the mediums, but he's got to try them. It looks like. So if he pits again, he'd be losing out another 4 places.
So medium runners at the moment looking very good.
Yeah. So Mike is the net leader, but he's on the hards. Hards, they're going to be a tricky tyre to fire up, I think, around here. And Merkel on the softs.
And I want to see Dixie do his race here. He'll know he's got guys through behind him, but he needs to just race his race. If he lets one through, they're all going to come through pretty harshly. So unless somebody's coming for a clean overtake, I think Dixie just needs to push on, man. Keeping the train tight together is probably best case scenario for Adam.
I think Mike's going to find it a bit tricky to get past him. He has to fire up those hards, and then I think it's only over time the hards get better. The mediums sort of just stay around the same for most of the race, but pretty decent.
Merkel gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Oh, is that because Jock's trying to come through?
I don't know. It might be. And Greenfingers and Jock, they're trying to unlap themselves, yeah. And they've been given 5-second penalties for collision with each other. Both got 10 seconds to need. Merkel has to serve that, so because those softs ain't getting to the end, unless of a miracle get that 5-second remove. But yeah,
That's the only unfortunate thing when you get a 5-second and you have to box. It's very hard to remove a penalty that was spent, especially because you have to go into the pits to serve it. And Fingers has been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags, so that'll be him out of the race. I don't know why guys think they can overtake. I know lap cars, I don't even think F1's not let lap cars unlap themselves for a long time, right? Or do they do that now? So safety car will win this lap. So Adam's got to do his thing. He's not been doing a lot of warming. The tyres are going to be cold. I've not seen a lot of weaving from Adam, so he needs to get the rubber up. So when he chooses to go will be interesting here.
So let's see. Adam is going really slow.
And now he's launched himself away.
I think it didn't look like he went really. It looked like he was half throttle there. But here comes Mike. Is Mike going to go for a move already? He is going to send it down the inside. Adam makes a gap. Nelly goes through as well on Adam.
And this is, I said, if he let one go, they would all swarm him.
Watch out for Merker as well. Merker, oh yeah, he tried. getting the exit, but couldn't get the car turned in time. Here he comes though. Is he going to go up, move up the hill? No, he isn't. Mataman is right there as well. Oh, Marco's had a big snap and the front wing's gone. And it won't be a safety car, it's just the first lap after the safety car come in. So, Marco, that's a big shame for him. As they all go around. Mike got his position, but he's got Nelly over the back of him. I wonder what SPW's going to be doing as well, because he's right behind Adam and Matt, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to go for something here. And Matt, man, he's going to try and go for a move on Adam.
Adam's going to make him go round the long way. I don't think the hard tyre will do that.
SPW might find an opportunity here. If they get a bit too close, Mataman's looking for a way past. SPW's gone around the outside. He's doing it Alonso. They can't get it done around the outside. And oh, Adam's lost it on the curb. And oh, that's his wing gone. Or a little bit of his wing gone, but it's not what he wanted. And he will have to be forced on the hards if he wants to go for one stop. As they all just flood through, and yeah.
Yes, that was. I could say a lot of things, but I won't.
Catastrophe has happened for Adam. He's doing so well, and it's happened.
Nelly's round, Jensen. Nelly's round. He's hit the wall.
No.
He touched the curb in the inside of the last the second last corner.
He's gonna have to pay it. Mike is in the clear now. But SPW, Chris, he's got his teammate just ahead of him, and he could just get the move done and catch Mike on his mediums. I think he's gonna have a good little scrap for the race win here. Mataman's had a spin.
And he's out. That's going to be a safety car. That's going to be a safety car. Safety car is out.
And it's brought those guys who suffered on the restart back into the race again. Add them onto the soft tyres. I think the soft tyres can actually make it to the end from here.
That would be big from Adam if he can get there.
It's a stretch to think about, maybe mid 65, high 60s maybe at the end of the race, but it's possible. And this has ruined Mike's plan.
Yes.
Is Mike gonna go for a pit? Stop here. Surely you'll have to keep the track position instead. But SPW, this is perfect for him.
So, Mike is going to box. SPW just stays out, he just goes to the end now. Mr. Rage boxes, so we're going to have a big changeover in positions here. Pedro stays out. It's the right call for the medium guys just to keep going. You can go to the end.
Yeah.
Do not stop. So we now have SPW P1, Surge P2, Rob Wells P3, Pedro 4, Mikey 5, Skarma 6, Mike now down to 7, Rage P8, Dixie P9, Nelly 10, Merco 11 and Jock P12.
Unless the cars behind SPW can battle him for the race win, SPW's got a massive buffer to Mike. I think. And Mikey as well. Mikey is back in this race, Chris.
Well, that was a very, very, very good point. And look at Pedro, your podium call sitting right there, Jensen.
Come on, son. You could do it. Pedro usually relies on the penalties of everyone else, but Zandvoort is not a penalty heavy track really. But
I mean, I'd have 15 by now, but that's me.
Who's going to win this race? Chris got 20 laps still to
It's
go.
blown wide open at pretty much just before the halfway point. It has literally been blown open. Who knows what happened now?
Your free alternate strategy leaders, Mike, Rage, and Nelly, all on the mediums again. You expect those guys to be jostling through the field.
I want to see Dixie get punchy on this restart as well. Start recovering some positions.
Yeah, they're all going to be back.
Oh, I'm going to grab the restroom, Jensen. I will be back in 1 minute.
Yep. Well done. I think the safety car should come in this lap. And will SPW keep this lead this race? Get a second OTL win. Surge possibly get him. Could Rob Wills even come for P3?
What a return to
Pedro.
racing that would be for SPW as well.
Can Mikey get vengeance from last week? Or even Skarma get a decent result, but the safety car's in this lap. Can Mike get through the field? And he's absolutely wheel spinning the hell out of his Alfa Romeo. Mr. Rage possibly. Adam could still get everyone could get everything, and I think Jock's pulled off the track letting everyone through there. Just raced their own race. Everyone on mediums to the end. And hopefully something hasn't happened here. SPW, he's gone now. Have they got their temps in their tyres? And here they go. They're racing.
Oh, and somebody's hit the wall. It's Pedro.
Oh, the whole wing's flying off.
And SPW's been given a penalty. I think that's because Surge Launch followed under safety car conditions there.
Yeah, I think they probably know that will get removed. Hopefully it doesn't hit for that. But that has put FPW in a position here.
And he touched the grass there, and he needs to be careful with that. Just needs to keep his head down.
Yeah. Mike, he's already through on Mirko and Co. And Mike up the inside of Skarma, he's got the position off him as well. And oh, there's been a spin, it's Mirko around. And he hits the polystyrene block at the rear end as he carries on going. Pedro on new softs. And they go the two McLarens as well. Nelly goes through on Skarma, he goes up to 7th. And so far SPW retains the leads after the restart. The top 4 remain the same.
I think this is where it's going to get a bit tricky for Mike overtaking the guys like Mikey and Rob Wills who have a bit.
Yeah, Mikey ain't going to be leaving anything here, he wants this. And SPW and Surge just, yeah, this is what they want to do at the moment, is get away from everyone else. And there's been a crash. It's Pedro. Oh, he's in the wall again as he picked up more damage. Hopefully no, it looks like he's just about got away with that. But
Mike looking very settled in his medium compound tyre. He try to take the high line there, maybe go for the cutback on Mikey.
He's backed off it though.
Ooh.
He's looking for these opportunities, Chris. He's just.
Let's see the gap to leader. 3.3 seconds, so SPW is not a million miles up the road.
Oh, that was a poor corner for Mikey, hit the inside curb. Mike committing full ERS deployment through the final corner, and he is not able to make the move. Nelly fastest after the race. A little clean gap he had that lap, and Mirko sets the fastest lap. Oh, starting to flood in these fastest laps.
Surge's not exactly dropping off here, but there was somebody on the soft tyre. Did they drop off? So yeah, our front, our top
Remember, DRS
10 drivers.
Hugely important for the DRS. It's going to be Rob Wills. He's got a train of 5 cars behind him.
Yeah, and unless he can catch up to Surge and get in that window, he's going to start getting attacked very hard. Look at Mike getting the run, and Mikey here. Mike's going to go to the racing line here. It's a very unorthodox place to make a move. Mikey gets the squeeze on.
You don't want to lose the gap, Mikey. He needs to keep within that gap around the final corner. The line is just there, and I think he just about keeps within the DRS, but Mikey's got a brilliant run out the final corner. Mikey, he's fully committed. Mike on the inside, he's going to go late on the brakes. Down the inside, he's giving, both drivers giving each other space here. Mikey on the outside though, which is probably the better line going through turn 2. And
good racing there between the two
retains the
drivers.
position there. Brilliant defence from Mike, brilliant attack from Mike.
There's a good train of cars here. Let's just go to the front. That was a good shot. Them up over the hill. There's the old barrel now back down the hill. SPW still being challenged by Surge. He's still right in that window. But Rob Wills is kind of the cork in the bottle here for these guys. Yep.
Mikey needs to get a move on, and Surge got really close there. It was within a tenth of him of SPW going through turn 10 and 11, and Rob Wills might pick up DRS here if he gets close enough. It's a second. It's hovering about, it's under a second now. Does he get it? He does.
Well, I think he has got it, Josh.
And that is not good for Mike, because now he has even more cars ahead of DRS and he's got absolutely no energy remaining. So he is now stuck. He's got to try and build up the energy and try and push soon. SPW though, he's keeping the head, but he has not got away with this so far. I thought he would pull a gap, but not at all. He is under pressure from 7 cars behind him.
Yes, it's went back to exactly what it was like at the start. Let's hope the guys can just keep in the line. So they're going to have small mistakes. Let's try and keep it on track and keep the interest up. Surge and SPW pretty much absolutely identical on ERS at the moment.
Here comes Mike. He's got close to Mikey again. He's attacking down that second DRS straight all the time. Is he going to go for something here? He's got really close, Chris. He's under a tenth here as they go through the final corner. Mike on the inside.
I think Mike has some amazing straight line speed in that car.
And Mikey looking a bit more on the inside. He's trying to defend that line. He goes wide to protect the outside line, and Mike just can't get through. Mikey is placing the car in absolutely all the right places.
Yes, it's a very, very good to watch bit of defensive driving going on here from Mikey. It's just the nature of the track as well. It's a Monaco without the walls so close. It's very, very hard to get through unless you have a big tyre advantage or a big ERS advantage. It's almost impossible.
Mr. Rage has got a big ERS advantage over Mike though, by about 30%. He is hovering there, nearly with 75% to his use.
And it is
the
very
more
close
these guys are held
back
behind as well, the less chance they're going to have at a race win, which is probably their aim. Rob Wills, that DRS is aiding him very nicely. He is using all the energy here, but here comes Mikey. He's going to use everything. Rob Wills is derating. Mikey on the inside into turn 1, and I think he's got the move done. Rob Wills can't hold the outside, and Mikey is through into the podium places, and now, can he possibly try and attack the two leaders now? As Mike, hopefully for Mike, Rob Wills might be a little bit easier than Mikey to get through. As they get really close through the middle sector, and it goes really wide for what Mike want to do. I think he's probably trying to set up something in the middle sector, but as they're all going about.
Changes starting to happen, you're absolutely right, Jensen. As even, I think Adams actually fell a little bit off the pack. I was looking at the time, it's just a little bit wrong. So the train is P1 to P7 as it stands.
Let's see if Mike, I think Mike with more energy, Mike is going to get through this lap on Rob Wills. Rob Wills will start derating about now. And oh, a jock is out of the race. Will Mike get ahead before a safety car? And he doesn't. I don't think he did.
Did he?
And
oh, I think he did. I think he
did.
just got it. Oh, he is a lucky boy. So safety car out. SPW shouldn't go in and sit. Oh, unless the guys want to go to the soft, but I would not give up track position now.
Yeah, track position is key.
Mike has shown it. It's very hard to get through.
I think Skarma, go for the softs, buddy. Come on.
Nothing to lose, yeah. Skarma, Merco, Dixie, Pedro, yeah, they've all done it. They all go to the softs.
Mr. Rage, maybe. Rob Wills.
Because
who's going to go for the softs in this? Will SPW pit? I don't think SPW wants to pit because he wants that penalty removed, and if he pits to serve that,
nothing can be
done. Then he can't remove it. So he's got to either stay out or lose the positions under the pit stop.
So I think he will stay out.
Let's see what happens here. Is Mike surely all these guys will stay out. And Pedro
Nelly would only lose 2 positions, so he may be boxed.
Come on, Pedro out just in time.
Oh, Mikey boxed. Mikey boxed.
Mikey.
Oh, Nelly picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. No.
That is not good. And Mikey, that might have been, that is an inspired decision. He's only lost 2 places from that. Mike is going to be looking at that and probably saying, oh, why did I not pit then there as well? Because he would have only lost 1 place.
So Mikey on P5 on the softs, could that be the race winning call, Jensen?
I think it could. I mean, you got 2 really defensive drivers up ahead. You got a really aggressive driver on their mediums. Still, I mean, if
Mikey gets through here and wins this race, Mikey wins driver of the day, hands down.
I have to agree with you there.
Like, how could you say any other drive? He was at the back of the grid. It was all gone away. It was gone, and he toothed and clawed and scratched his way back. Alright, safety cars help. But by God, he showed some very, very strong race pace. Robert Kelly says, sorry guys, that was a terrible race by me. I don't like this. I don't think a lot of people like this track, buddy. Never stress. I assume you are jock. Don't, never apologise, mate. You never done anything bad to any other driver. You never cut anybody up. So, no need to apologise.
Except causing a safety car, but, I mean, it's normal.
Yes, safety cars at Zandvoort happen.
Yeah, as you've seen in this race, about 4 or 5 actually. This might be the last one.
So this is a running order now, right?
Yeah, I think Mikey, he has to hope that no more come out. Otherwise, he's screwed. He's put to the softs. If there's no safety cars, he has a really, I think, at least a 70% chance of winning this race, unless the defence ahead is good enough to hold him back, but it's going to be a tricky one.
Wonder how well Dixie can get on. He's still gained 4 position. Pedro back into his starting position after all the safety cars.
Rob Wills as well. He's Pedro on the softs.
Probably not get to catch the pack here. think safety car will win this lap?
No, I think it waits for all the drivers to catch up.
Oh, so he might just
It
get away
waits
with
for all the
it.
drivers to catch up or goes in the maximum laps. Or I might be wrong. Hopefully it allows them to catch
I
up.
hope you are absolutely right.
And looks like we are going around another lap.
Yes, you were spot on, Jensen. So the running order, as it will be for the restart after everybody taking the pit that wanted to pit, SPW in P1, Surge 2, Mike 3rd, Rage P4, Mikey P5, Robwell 6, Nelly 7, Merco 8, Skarma 9, Dixie P10, Pedro in 11, and unfortunately we've lost Jock, Matt, F. Lewis, Mitch and Fingers.
This is going to be a very interesting end to the race. I like this about OTL, it always has this.
It's never the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's never the same. And somebody boxed. Oh no, and is Surge going to get SPW another time penalty here? I'm unsure.
Oh no.
I think this position
another
swapped there.
Yeah, it looked like it as well. It saw a red arrow down there, and yep, it's another one. I mean, he'll get removed anyway as long as he stays out on track. He can't hit. And Mike, he's getting a bit alongside there. They're all playing games with each other under this safety car.
Oh, and SPW's just red X'd.
And oh no. Oh no! That has not just happened to him. I'll quickly invite him back. Right.
Oh no, Surge, don't overtake. No, come on.
Oh my god, what has happened to it?
And he's just got another 5-second penalty.
Another one? And he didn't even overtake back, he just... And a safety car in this lap.
So that's, yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. SPW though is on looking for a win there, and he's just being killed by connection, it looks like. And Mike, he's just sitting behind there. He's got 5 extra laps on board with him, Mike. He is a very heavy boy on fuel. And they're going to go as early as possible there. No, I think so. And SPW is back in. Please retake control, SPW, come on. You can still salvage something from this. Mike goes through into 2nd place. So it's going to be Surge versus Mike for this first half of this final 10 lap battle here. Mikey, he's going to start to come through here.
I wonder when SPW gets control of his car here.
I think he'll get control in the next 30 seconds, hopefully. Within. And, yep, he's been given control now, or he's going to retake control. And he is back in the car. But in P5, so he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to come back. And Mike has took the lead of the race. So Mike already through. Mikey's got to get a move on here. He does not want Mike to get away.
So it is all kicking off.
Oh,
Feel really bad
so
for
it's getting
SPW
wide.
there.
Here comes Mr. Rage. He's over the back. And they're all gonna go down the straight. Oh, they got really close down the straight.
Oh, look at that through the middle. Mikey through the middle. That's insane. Can he go
If he
round
holds
the
this around the
outside?
outside,
The Rage,
what an
he's
overtake.
done it.
What an overtake.
What a move, Jensen.
That is the best overtake I've ever seen there from Mike.
Wow.
Mikey, that was brilliant, mate. And he could still get this win as well, Chris. He's got 6.5 laps to catch Mike, overtake him, and take the race victory. Can he do that? They're both on the same energy, and Mikey is catching up very quickly in the middle sector, but that was brilliant racing from all 3 of them there.
Yes.
Got very, very close, so absolutely stuck together through down the straight, but Mikey played the cards well, up to P2.
DRS will enable on the turn of the lap here, I think.
Yeah, Mike is using a lot of energy to try and get away here. And there's the fastest lap for Mike. What is Mikey going to be doing here? And SPW, he dives it down the inside. He's back through the P4. There is a podium still in sight for SPW. He has 15 seconds of penalties, but none of them were really deserving anyway, so...
Mikey is back in that DRS range. Can he stay there for the last... Well, the last of the second sector and the last sector?
He needs to be there for one of the DRS zones. He should be really nicely in there.
Oh, he went a bit deep there. That's going to cost him a bit of time.
He's in there though. He's got the DRS down this straight. He's got a lot more energy than Mike though. Mike is absolutely spending the energy. He's down to 30%. Mikey is at 65%. Mikey's just waiting. Here we go. Is this going to be the DRS for Mikey? Yes it is.
So how much does he push? Not
He's
a lot.
Stay in the DRS.
4 laps to
and there's
go.
the fastest lap. If he wins this race and he keeps that fastest lap, Chris, he gets all 3 of them. Pole, win and fastest lap.
Oh yes, that's right.
And maybe a driver of the day to add to that.
That would be a very, very good effort from Mikey. Showed some real class in the car today as well as Mikey. I commend exactly how he's went about his business. From the pole to the... You know, he was very, very outspoken about how hard done by he felt last week. And he's came back very methodically and very mature. And yeah,
let's see what he does. Will he go for a move this lap, Chris? He is all over the back of Mike. He's only half a second away. Mike surely is going to be pushing a lot. And Mike ain't using anything. Mikey ain't using anything. Here we go. Mikey pushing down the straight. Mike weaving away. Here comes Mikey on the outside. Mikey takes the lead of the race with a beautiful move on the outside. On those soft tyres, he's making them work brilliantly. And SPW's
though takes
again.
But he just took the fastest lap of the race as well.
Oh,
it was a 1:01.5. What the hell?
I'll see.
Yellow flag sector 1, somebody's round. Is this
Nelly?
It's Nelly, no.
He's lost his front wing. Hopefully that's not a safety car. And is Mikey gonna hold on to this race win here?
Let's see what you got. 3 and a little bit laps
Mike
to
is
go.
running out of energy. He's running out of engine power from that battery pack, and he's close, but I don't think Mikey's going to use anything really.
Well, I think SPW may be back
But
in the car.
Mikey's going to use everything. Mike is absolutely spending his energy. Is he going to get close enough? Mikey ain't even using anything down the straight. Mike around the outside. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Once again, Mikey giving the room on the outside. Who's going to be the first car into turn 2? It's Mikey keeping the position. And he's still got 40% energy. And compared to Mike's 13 at the moment.
What a race we've been treated to this evening, Jensen. What a race.
Haven't got long to go. I think Nelly pitting for the softs. Might be able to take away a fastest lap. Missed.
Oh, and Skarma's went wide.
And he's falling all the way down there, and that might just be his evening over. will come around for P10, but there goes Mikey. Mikey using a little bit of energy here. Mike, he's not going to push. I think he's going to wait until the final lap. Mikey, you got to keep that. You got to keep your battery for this final lap. You got to keep it in there. And that is Mirko. He's had a crash on the straight. He comes into the pits and he's lost his whole wing. So it's going to be a tricky one. Mikey, I think, just cruising about at the moment, trying to...
It's not just that, Mr. Rage now bringing himself in a window as well. Mike makes one little mistake and he loses a position here.
Mikey he does not want to push any temperature in his tyres. He needs to keep some free temperature on this final lap. Oh, and that's Rob Wills has gone in a spin. And
somehow Dixie's through. Dixie's gets through to P5. What's happening here? We've got Pedro all over the back of Rob Wills now as well. He's looking at getting some more gains near the end of this race. Oh, he
and
almost
this is going to be a big
back.
push lap for Mikey. Here we go. Mikey pushing all the way down the straight onto the final lap. I think Mikey is safe this time. Mike on nothing. Mikey just has to hold it for the next DRS straight. Defend those corners where Mike could possibly go for. Rage dropping away a little bit, maybe pushing for fast lap in this DRS just outside, but this is going to the death.
And there's big things happening further back as well between Rob Wills, Pedro and Skarma. Pedro's going to get the move done.
SPW had a poor run.
SPW, sorry, that's what I meant. I'm an absolute donkey.
Has he got damage? Nah, it might just look like understeer, but here comes Mikey. He just needs to keep the position here. He needs to use all the energy. Here comes Mike. He's pushing everything. Mike gets so close, he locks up. And they go through the roundabout section. And its tensions are high in the final corner of the race. Can Mike get the exit? He does. Keep it going. Through the final corner. Keep it going, Mikey. He's going to do it. He's going to win the Dutch Grand Prix in OTL. Brilliant drive from Mikey. Absolutely applaud that performance. That was incredible. The overtaking, pole to victory.
Bravo, 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 young Mikey. SPW, of course, all the penalties to come off, so he will finish where he finished on track. But Dixie getting himself up a few positions in the end there, another top 5 position finish for Adam. He will be very happy, but Mikey, Mike and Rage, we'll need to get them all in to the party for a chat. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. No.
He's not really, doesn't offer much overtaking opportunities, but the driving, it was something to hold on. And Alan takes the driver of the day from the game. I think we already know who's going to get.
Yes.
That's a pretty...
Who done interviews last week, gents?
Yeah.
Oh, I get to talk
You could
to the Mikey. And we must say at the end of the race as well, because commiserations to who looked good to win the race as well. SPW was in a very controlling position, and connection issues unfortunately stole what something could have been a very good debut away from him. So
you've got them.
Very, very unfortunate to himself. But I guess we just go first to third, because our race winner has joined us. Firstly, Mikey, what I would like to say is, I know you're probably very happy, but that was stunning. And compared in terms of how you went about your race, your incident, the spin, the pit stop, we know safety cars help, but you were nowhere near the position that you should have been in from qualifying and how you started the race. How do you feel? That was superb driving.
Thanks, mate. Can you hear me?
Yes?
Oh, sound. Oh, because people, I think I muted my mic or something. Some people in the race can hear me.
Oh.
Yeah, you muted your mic, Mikey, because
Yeah, I don't know what button I pressed. Like, I literally just went to turn it down towards the final few laps because I thought I'd be able to pull away from Mike, but his pace was really strong. But luckily, I had good straight line speed.
Yes, that was very evident throughout the full Grand Prix. Even from people trying to attack you or you getting the run, it was not an easy job for them at all.
No.
Um,
Yeah, I had a few whoopsies in that race.
yes. But after the whoopsies, you're driving. I know there was some incidents in front that maybe gained some free positions, but when it came to overtaking, especially when you went through the middle of the two guys in the medium tyres, then went round the outside.
Yeah.
Yes, we've seen that.
I was literally just on the mic. I'm in the middle, boys. I'm in the middle.
It was.
I'm screaming my head off.
Yeah, because was it Nelly that almost put?
Doing?
Yeah, Serge almost put Rage in a wall. Oh yeah, that was crazy. It was good fun though.
That was squeaky bum time.
A bit of redemption from last week.
Yeah, I felt a bit of redemption. But
Good.
I didn't feel like it after I spun though and went to last.
Yeah, you done one of the races where you kind of go up and down.
Yeah,
I did the same. I did the same. So.
But you've got to be happy, right?
Yeah, well, when I seen the guys didn't pit in front, I was like, I've got a chance here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
We kind of said that. Me and Jensen had an inkling that you were just in the position because you were just on the train, but the gaps behind were big enough that you were only going to compromise a couple of positions. So it was always worth the chance. And but once we seen that you came out in that P5 spot, we were like, oh, Mikey really has a really big shot at getting back. But of course, nothing else happened after that. You had to get yourself through the traffic and get yourself up to P1, and of course, you then get entangled in what was a spectacular bit of defensive driving. I think this was before the softs. Your defensive driving on display against Mike was stunning.
Yeah, we had some fun, Mike did. We mean Mike.
But oh, on you go, Rage. On you go.
No, I was gonna say I had the popcorn now.
But you...
I was hoping and praying for a little contact, and I just looked my way through. But
it was good racing.
Yeah, it was a very good race.
But happy with your outcome?
Oh, definitely. And I got pole as well, so another point. Happy days.
That's it, and there may be more to come. But anyway, very well done, Mikey. That was stunning. Your driving today was absolutely superb.
Wait to watch it.
Yes, very, very mature stuff. It was great to watch. So very well done.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
I'm going to a P2 man. Young Mikey joins us, and not the funny gamer tag, but the real gamer tag. That was an interesting one, Mike. I think Mikey taking the softs. It was always going to be a tough fight, but by God, you put up a fight. But still bringing on P2, happy?
No, not really. I mean, I think I should have won the race pretty easily. I mean,
safety cars went against you though, right?
But yeah, GG to Mikey. I expected, like, I stayed out and I knew I'd be up against it, but Mikey's straight line speed was just fucking nuts, man. I wasn't gaining in the DRS, and I was like, what the fuck? I would use up all my battery in one straight, and I'd not be anywhere closer to him, and it just didn't make sense, because he wasn't dropping any time in the corners either, so, I don't know. It was just frustrating in the end.
But still, P2, good points in the championship. Jay not being here tonight, obviously you extend the lead even more, and it's looking at the point where, as long as it doesn't matter, I know wins is what you want, but if you just keep chugging out podiums, I think it's going to be very hard to be caught.
Obviously Jay and Jamie weren't here, and obviously Rage never wins, so it should be pretty sail so pretty fine sailing from here.
I hope karma hits you.
Whoopsie!
But yeah, well done, Mike. It was a strong effort. You tried, you pushed hard on the mediums, you showed some strong pace. Yeah, very well done. I know it's maybe not what you wanted, but still P2. After your pit stop, you were a bit down yourself, so you had to get some overtakes done, which you did.
Yeah, obviously the first safety car also didn't exactly come at the right time. I had to go on hards, which, I mean, you don't want to be on hards around there, and it kind of cost me a bit. Even though everyone was kind of on a two-stop anyway, it just neutralized everything completely because I had to pit again for mediums, and then I'd lost positions that I didn't really have to lose, and it's just kind of like frustrating.
Yeah, totally understand. But in the end, very well done. So,
yeah, obviously I'm going to be filing a complaint for the FIA to have a look at Mikey's car because I feel like there was some Ferrari power engine unit in the back of that, man.
Anyways, well done, Mike. Good effort, and I'm sure we will see you back there or thereabouts next week for sure.
Hopefully.
Anyways, on to Mr. Rage. We spoke last week. We said, will you build some momentum, and that appears to be the case.
I think it was that the week before.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't there last week.
No more momentum.
That's right. You never raced last week though, right?
No, I never raced.
Yeah, that's...
Would have got points over Mike. Damn it!
Oh.
No!
But still, P3 Rage, you were in a bit of the walls yourself. It was a tricky one, but still, you brought him some good points.
Yeah, safety cars. Oh, I love them.
Some hate them, some love them.
Yeah. Without the safety car, I don't think I would have got where I was. Because overtaking was so difficult.
Yeah, once, especially on the restarts, it was just until people made mistakes, it was just a train. Didn't really seem like much was going to happen. Although, I would say that looking back, Jensen will agree as well, that race was really, really exciting. Like, really exciting. For a track that tends to be quite boring for league racing, it was very entertaining. So somehow you've managed to put on some form of show. I don't know if that was people crashing or what, but it was exciting.
Probably everyone losing the back end, almost getting hit into the pit lane. Yeah.
And of course we should say a driver that showed good pace and then get pooped on by connection issues. I said this just at the end as well. I think SPW would have been there or thereabouts.
Oh, SPW would have definitely finished ahead of me.
He would have been hard to get past.
Yeah, he definitely would have won if there wasn't a Ferrari. But that's another discussion.
But congratulations, Rage, on another podium. We just keep churning them out. The W will come. Don't listen to what Mike says.
Yeah, just wait for me to get a 5-second time penalty.
Yep. And it's going to be the time when you're sitting right behind them, so you can pull the fingers
And I
as you drive
speed in
past.
I'm gonna speed in the pit lane, and you're gonna get the. You didn't even beat me then.
I can't wait till your wheel disconnects.
I can't wait either.
I've had that a few times already this season.
So,
Oh yeah, Mikey, yeah.
Jensen, we have one call left to make before we wrap up for the evening, and I think it's a unanimous no-brainer between the two of us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say this is a good effort from Mike and Rage this race. I mean, yeah, quite an entertaining one. But Mikey, your drive was fucking stunning, mate.
Whoa! Stop
And
the
you-
swearing.
And I think what made it for me, your defense against Mike, you were just placing the car in all the right places, and the overtake on right in the middle
Illegal
of-
engine.
was literally right in the middle of Serge, and I think Mr. Rage down the straight was incredible.
Yeah, Rage.
Yeah, it was insane. So yeah,
fuck.
I think Chris knows that as well.
Yes, it was
Mikey driver of the
spectacular.
day,
Yes, I agree.
Thank you very
the
much.
no-brainer.
So that means you took the trifecta today, Mikey. The race win, pole position, driver of the day, and you even took the fastest lap because SPW, when he lagged out, somehow set a lap that was like 1 minute, 1 second.
Actually, Nelly got fastest lap.
Oh, did he?
Nelly got R11.2.
Oh, we were that. See, we were that engrossed in the battle at the end.
Until before the end.
We're not letting you have that one.
But yeah, we're not happy with that. Nah.
But anyway, guys,
Get out.
OTL will be back on Wednesday, and these guys will be back next Monday for, I'm sure, more entertainment. We will see you then.